A young mother and her infant daughter missing now for more than a week. An update tonight from police as we hear from her family as a frantic search continues.
We're about to turn the corner when it comes to the weather. Hang in there. We're about to see a steady improvement in our temperatures.
This is News 3 at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. We are finally getting some relief from the bitter cold. You can already really feel it tonight.
From Wednesday morning until this weekend, we're expecting a temperature swing of around 70 degrees. Most school districts, city offices, Madison city libraries will open tomorrow. UW-Madison opened today at noon. So things are getting back to normal for what will be the beginning of February. We'll have your first alert forecast in a few minutes. But
first, a developing story tonight. Police are actively searching for a 24-year-old mother and her 9-month-old daughter who have been reported as missing tonight. They were last seen in Fitchburg a week ago.
Madeline O'Neill spoke with her family tonight and has an update from police on this case. Maddie?
Lachey Mitchell's family is, of course, worried. Not only is it not like her to not talk to them every day, but not knowing where she and her baby are in this extreme weather makes it easy to fear the worst. When it's this cold,
that scares me.
Not knowing where your loved ones are has an even bigger bite.
You see the news and how people are getting frostbite and basically some dying, and I don't want to think the worst.
At this point, I think she needs some help, honestly, because it's been too long.
Too long since Dolores and Dion Mitchell have heard from their sister, Lachey Mitchell.
The sweetest person you'll ever meet.
And she'll do anything she could for anyone.
Along with Lachey's baby, Serena.
We just want her and Sweet Pea to return home safely.
Family members last saw Lachey and Serena on January 24th in the Greenway Cross area in Fitchburg.
It's not like her to go even a day without contacting someone.
Fitchburg police ask anyone who may have seen Lachey, described as about 5'4" tall, 120 pounds with black shoulder-length hair, to contact them immediately.
We are certainly concerned of her well-being and her welfare, especially with the 9-month-old child being the extreme temperatures that have been outside as of late. So we certainly want to check her welfare more than anything and make sure she and her child are safe.
For now, police say they don't suspect foul play.
Not at this time, no.
But Lachey's family can't help but wonder.
I'd like to keep my mind open to the fact that it's not, but at this point, I can't put anything past anyone.
They know this for sure.
Shay, we miss you. We miss you, baby Serena. We just want you guys to come home.
Shay was last seen wearing black leggings and black boots. Her daughter was wearing a pink snowsuit. Anyone with information is asked to call the Fitchburg Police Department at 608-270-4300.
Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Maddie, thank you. Another developing story tonight. The FBI says a missing Tennessee teenage girl has been found safe here in Wisconsin. 14-year-old Savannah Pruitt was last seen in Madisonville, Tennessee on January 13th. We don't know yet where she was found in Wisconsin. Earlier today, though, her father was arrested. Authorities say that charge is separate from her disappearance.
Well, nearly all local school districts will be back in session tomorrow. The Monona Grove School District will still be closed. According to the district's Facebook page, the school bus company they use is having some major issues with its fleet after the bitter cold. The post on Facebook says about 1,900 students there use buses. But for most people, tomorrow will seem almost like a normal winter day in these parts. Dana Fulton joining us now, our first alert forecast. Dana?
Finally moving in a little bit of a better direction after such a bitterly cold stretch for us this morning. Temperatures dropped to 26 degrees below zero in Madison. And Boscomel about 36 degrees below zero. So this was our official low for the day. Thankfully, that's not where we're at right now. About 6 degrees below zero right now in Madison, 4 degrees below for Mineral Point and in Janesville. We're really going to hover there overnight. Temperatures staying just a few degrees below zero for us into early tomorrow morning. Wind chills, though, of course, still a factor. It feels about 20 below right now in Madison. So if you do have to head out early in the morning, do plan on those wind chills anywhere from 10 to 20 below zero. It is going to be another cold start, but not nearly as dangerously cold as where we have been. Right now we have some light snow and flurries throughout the southwest corner of the state. We may see a few tenths of an inch of accumulation, but really not expecting much. These flurries will be out of here just in the next few hours, sliding through again, really favored towards the southwest corner. Tomorrow our temps will jump above zero, plan on a high of 18 with a little bit of sun in the afternoon. We'll take a closer look at your mild weekend ahead in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. Police are investigating a pair of cold weather deaths, both in the Milwaukee area. A man was found dead behind a home in Cudahy this morning. Officers were called to his home for a welfare check when he did not show up for work. The medical examiner's office responded around 3 this afternoon. The man was found frozen under a tree. The medical examiner's office investigating exactly how he died, but neighbors say he had lived there for at least a couple of decades. And an autopsy also underway for a woman who was found frozen inside her unheated apartment in Milwaukee. Medical examiner says the 38-year-old woman was pronounced dead at about 7:30 last night. Authorities say the thermostat in her apartment had malfunctioned.
It was another day of record-setting cold for the city of Chicago. Around 4 o'clock this morning, temperatures were down to 21 below zero, which is now the coldest ever, January 31st for the city. The previous record was -12, set back in 1985. SSM St. Mary says they only had 10 cold weather cases since the deep freeze began on Tuesday. 8 of them were in Madison and 2 in Janesville. There weren't any reported in Sun Prairie, Baraboo, or any of their urgent care facilities. And as of yesterday, UW Health had treated 7 cases of frostbite.
The Dane County Sheriff's Department reminding people that just because it's cold outside doesn't stop crime. Overnight, 3 cars were stolen, a home was broken into. In one of those incidents, 2 cars were stolen from the same home. Deputies are reminding everyone keep their doors locked, along with their garages, cars closed and locked. Never keep any valuables in your vehicle overnight. And a Middleton family has a warning about car thefts. You're looking at video from Jake and Caitlin Solomon's front porch from their Ring doorbell. Their Jeep had been stolen from their driveway about a week ago. Police found that vehicle miles away on Fish Hatchery Road, but without the keys. So this is video of those burglars returning to their house, trying to get in with those keys. Fortunately, the Solomons had just changed all their locks and the garage code. They are warning others that this kind of thing can happen in any neighborhood.
Some school districts will now have to decide how to make up days because of snow and cold weather. Some of their options are sending students to school during staff-only days, getting rid of early release days, or tacking on extra days in June. Madison School District says they won't make the decision until the end of winter. Meanwhile, K through 12 students at Middleton Cross Plains won't have to make up days at the end of the school year unless they get 2 more snow days. For some families, missing school can mean their children missing a meal, prompting food pantries to step in and help. In Janesville, both the Salvation Army and Echo Food Pantry are working to meet the needs of those families. The associate director says this is something pantries prepare for and are making sure families in the district don't go hungry.
When children are in school, they're able to get a free breakfast, and especially if they're in poverty, they get that breakfast, and they also are able to get free or reduced lunch. So that's a big thing, especially if our families that we're serving who are in poverty, they don't have enough money to pay for rent, utilities, transportation, and always have enough food on their table.
You can find a complete list of pantries on our website, channel3000.com.
For the second day in a row, the weather caused power outages this morning. The entire community of Livingston was without heat in homes there. Power went out about 4 this morning. Some residents say it was 20 degrees inside when they woke up. Some were so cold they went outside to warm up in their cars for several hours until the power was turned back on. The Livingston Fire Department opened its doors as a warming shelter. Power was restored some 5 hours later. If you park on the streets, you'll want to be sure you're on the correct side this evening. Parking enforcement getting back to normal. The extreme cold had changed things for the last few days, but alternate side parking returns overnight at 1 a.m.
The end is in sight. We are finally warming up from the polar vortex, but this 70-degree temperature swing might bring with it problems of its own. Amy Reed joins us now to explain what you can do to limit that. Amy?
Yeah, we heard this earlier in the week with the water main breaks. Large swings in temperature can wreak havoc on us. The city of Fitchburg is hoping citizens can help prepare. They're asking people to move all the snow away from fire hydrants and from inlets or storm drains. Getting that out of the way allows the melting snow to drain properly. Otherwise, there could be localized flooding.
You could see water in the roadways, impassable roadways. That is definitely a problem that we've had in some areas in the city in the past. So really, if if we can keep our inlets clear, that's probably the best thing we can do to prepare.
They said the best way you can make way for the water is to use a shovel or an ice pick. They also emphasized clearing fire hydrants. Every second counts when firefighters respond to these fires. And if they don't have to clear a hydrant, that could save a house, if not a life.
Amy Reed reporting tonight. Amy, thank you. Still to come on News 3 at 10, Foxconn is reassuring everyone they are still committed to Wisconsin.
And some incredible video out of New Jersey. More than a dozen cars go up in flames at one of the busiest airports in the country. The story next.
Welcome back. Foxconn is moving ahead with plans to eventually employ 13,000 people in Wisconsin. Today, both Governor Evers and Foxconn said they will continue to work together. Amid reports the company is changing direction for the site, away from manufacturing in favor of making it a research and development hub. The head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation says there have been no attempts to renegotiate the Foxconn contract.
Experts are predicting another challenging year for dairy farmers following 4 straight years of low milk prices. The UW Director of Dairy Policy Analysis says he expects prices to be better this year than last, but not by a lot. One plus is that the new Farm Bill includes an improved insurance program to help farmers during times of low prices, but that program's been delayed by the partial government shutdown. Well, check this out. More than a dozen cars caught fire. This was at Newark Airport in the parking lot there today. The fire broke out on the top of a parking ramp, Terminal C. Investigators say the fire apparently started in one SUV and then spread quickly. In total, 17 different vehicles caught fire. Most of them appear to be total losses. No one was injured. There was also no impact on airport operations.
The Dodge County Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help finding 36-year-old Connie Smiley. She is a Huber release inmate who never returned to jail last night. She is serving a 160-day sentence for contempt of court. Her last known address is in Oconomowoc, and she was last seen yesterday in Juneau. If you see her, please call the Dodge County Sheriff's Department. The bitter cold is not stopping firefighters from doing their jobs. This is a photo of Mitch Hansen. He is the chief of the Cameron Fire Department in Barron County. He fought a house fire Wednesday in -50 wind chills. The picture was taken as crews were getting ready to leave the scene. That fire, by the way, destroyed the home, but everyone inside got out safely.
A happy ending to a scary few days for a Cottage Grove family. This little dog named Keaton had been missing in the bitter cold since Saturday, and today was found and returned to her family. Keaton brought to the veterinarian for medical treatment. Vets say they will be monitoring some frostbite on her nose, but they say she is in surprisingly good shape. Just back to that firefighter. Great job from all our first responders. The folks keeping the power on.
I know.
Everybody working in some incredibly difficult conditions. And a big shout out to our meteorologists who were trying to figure out what this was going to do over the last few days.
Kudos to you, Dana.
Some light
We've
at the end
been
of the
keeping an
tunnel,
eye on
Dana.
things, but we've been able to stay out inside and stay warm. Of course, our first responders all outside, our pets outside, hopefully not for too long. You can bring them inside. And then there's the wildlife, of course, that have been spending all of their time outside. Pheasants, though, are non-migratory birds, so they're designed to stay in this cold air. They like to roost up in trees and build their nests down in the ground. So you can see with that beautiful bright plumage, it's all fluffed up. Their feathers are actually pretty good at holding in their body temperature and keeping out the cold. So this beautiful pheasant sent in to us from Marshall. You can always send us pictures on Facebook and Twitter, the tips email, my email. We love seeing pics because, as I mentioned, we're stuck inside watching all the models come on through. And the good news, those models are really showing an improvement by the weekend. Temperatures are going to continue to climb for your Friday afternoon and for Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be very mild outside. By Saturday, though, we are going to start to talk about some light rain moving in. That light rain and drizzle may mix to some freezing drizzle by Sunday morning as temperatures are going to fall close to freezing. Rain expected throughout the day on Sunday and Monday, and then we will transition slowly to flurries as everything clears up and moves on out of here. Today we started off at 26 degrees below. We didn't crack the top 5 and thankfully didn't break any all-time records. We did break the daily record though, the previous one 22 degrees below zero. So we cracked that one. Again, only twice have we gone 30 degrees below, and we are going to leave that record well in the past. We don't need to bust that anymore. Overall, the 2 days that we spent with 25 degrees or lower temperatures, that's the 7th time in Madison history that that's actually happened. The longest streak, of course, was 3 days, so it hasn't happened very often that we've had this cold stretch of weather. Now, the longest streak of below 0 days, 9 days in a row, and that's not going to be the case for us, thankfully. By tomorrow afternoon, we'll be well above 0, and Saturday and Sunday will be close to 40 degrees. Light snow and flurries right now moving through southwest Wisconsin. Overall accumulation totals are really going to stay just a few tenths of an inch, not expecting a significant amount. Some isolated areas along the state line might see an inch of accumulation as that snow continues to clear on out over the next few hours. High pressure is still ridging through the Midwest. It's shifting a little further east. And because of this, we're seeing a shift in our wind direction coming from the south now, so it's a little warmer. It'll be light and southerly for us tonight and for most of tomorrow. And that means our wind chill won't be as much of a factor, and that shift in direction is going to help our temperatures warm up. This warm front off to the west isn't going to move in until Sunday, and when it does, we will have quite a jump for Sunday and Monday. We will be in the 40s. Believe it or not, a little taste of April. Overnight, a variably cloudy sky. Friday, plan on a variably cloudy sky for us. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to upper teens. No threat for any more flurries for your Friday, but by Saturday, we start off mostly cloudy, and later in the afternoon and early evening, that's when the light rain chance is going to come in for us. So Saturday morning, overall, fairly okay. Through much of the day or much of the night on Saturday and heading into Sunday, we're dealing with some light rain and drizzle. Not expecting heavy rainfall really at all with this one. By Sunday evening, we're still dealing with some light showers. Monday, we start off with rain, but then the rain slowly transitions in the afternoon to a mix and then to snowfall at night. We may see a little bit of accumulation, but not expecting much because our temperatures will be so much warmer, so the ground's going to warm up. Again, by the time the snow gets through tonight, our accumulation totals will be close to just a few tenths of an inch. By tomorrow morning, we'll be about 5 degrees below 0, so close to where we're at right now. Really not going to fall much overnight. Tomorrow afternoon will be close to 18 degrees above 0. Nice change of pace. We'll be close to 40 in the upper 30s on Saturday, low 40s on Sunday, and mid 40s on Monday. That warm front really bumps us up. By the middle of next week, though, we start to steadily come back down. It becomes a little closer to average for us for Tuesday and Wednesday. Another opportunity to get below zero for the end of next week, but it's not going to be nearly as cold as the stretch that we went through, guys. I think we're going to put that behind us and start just moving through the rest of winter.
Yeah, I would like to not repeat what we just had.
We're going to shut that and just push it aside.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Forget that ever happened. All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana. The Bucks get another All-Star. They also get a big win in Toronto tonight. The story coming up in sports.
Badger women's basketball team had a tough assignment tonight playing at 11th ranked Maryland, and it turned out about as it would be expected. Maryland's Kayla Charles leads the way with 22 points on 8 of 10 shooting. Imani Lewis leads the Badgers with 14. Final score, Maryland 75, Wisconsin 57. Badgers back home Sunday afternoon at 2 against Michigan. Badger men's basketball team plays at the Kohl Center tomorrow night. They're asking Badger fans to wear white, so they're calling it a whiteout game. That's tomorrow night at the Kohl Center at 8, a whiteout, Wisconsin and Maryland. Big Ten tonight, Purdue gets a scare at Penn State, but Carson Edwards bails them out. In overtime, Edwards hits a 3 and 1 for a total of 4. Edwards scores 38 points tonight. Purdue beats Penn State 99-90 to go to 8-2 in the Big Ten. The Bucks are in Toronto tonight. Chris Middleton named a reserve for the All-Star team, joining Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks almost blow a 24-point lead before the aforementioned Giannis helps restore order. 19 points, 9 rebounds for Giannis. Big win for the Bucks. They beat the Raptors in Toronto 105-92. Mike Budenholzer on his staff will now also be coaching at the All-Star game, too. Wesley Matthews was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the New York Knicks today. The deal is Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and 2 future first-round picks from Dallas to New York. The Knicks sending Kristaps Porzingis, Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Mavericks. Matthews might get a buyout, maybe even end up with a playoff contender. The Brewers lost the starting pitcher today when Wade Miley signed a 1-year contract as a free agent with the Houston Astros. Spring training begins in less than 2 weeks. One of the big stories we'll be watching will be the comeback of pitcher Jimmy Nelson in September of 2017 after a base hit. He tried to scramble back to first and jammed his right shoulder into the base. After surgery, he didn't pitch at all last season, but now he's back.
I'm going into the spring training with the same routines and the same mindset of earning my spot back and helping this team to the best of my ability. And I think, everything I've been doing over the last 16 months, will finally pay off. And, so I'm just looking forward to finally putting it behind me. One of my goals is to start opening day. That goal is still never as important as the, winning the World Series goal.
Our next Prep Mania game of the week is Tuesday when Monroe visits Monona Grove in girls basketball. We'll have the game live on channel3000.com next Tuesday night at 7:15. First round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. 20,000 fans partying on the 16th hole, and Steve Stricker gives them something to cheer about. He's going to come this close to a hole-in-one. Stricker's 1 over 8 shots behind the leaders, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, and Harold Varner III. And we'll be right back.
64, Ricky Fowler now for birdie at 8.
Now, we do have some breaking news right now at 10. Multiple fire departments responding to a reported house fire. This is in Cottage Grove tonight. Dane County Dispatch says it's on Rathert Road. Call came in about 9:27 tonight. Our photojournalist Corey Ferris hustled out there. The units responding include Cottage Grove, Deerfield, Sun Prairie, Marshall, Cambridge, and Stoughton. Again, dealing with very, very chilly weather. We'll have updates starting tomorrow on News 3 this morning, as well as at channel3000.com. And yeah, it is trending up in the temperature department, but still very, very cold out there tonight.
Very, very cold, still bitterly cold, and we're still looking at wind chills in the morning anywhere from 10 to 20 below zero. Temperatures will stay below zero tonight, but by tomorrow afternoon, we finally jump up close to 18 for our high for Friday. We'll stay in the teens overnight, but this weekend we climb again. For the Saturday afternoon, we'll be in the upper 30s, some light rain building in late at night. And that's going to hang out with us through much of Saturday or Sunday, planning on a chance of rain showers throughout the day. On Sunday, we'll be in the low 40s for afternoon highs on Sunday, mid 40s on Monday, and then we go back down a little bit. Can't stay there for too long. Closer to 20 and below for us for the middle of next week.
Dana, thanks. And thanks for joining us.
Do something good, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.